Hi, I'm Wei Zhang from JSong. I'm so happy to be with Scott and Syvia. Syvia and Scott, would you please introduce yourself?
Wei, thank you. We're so excited to be here. I'm Syvia Heisel, and I'm a reformed fashion designer, let's say. And I now work with 3D printing and other new technologies for fashion and apparel and accessories.
I'm Scott Taylor. I'm a visual artist and 3D printer and designer.
You are one of the 12 most amazing fashion tech designers. I'm so honored to be with you. Oh my God!
Thank you.
Yes. I want to ask you. As today, you have done so many creations with 3D prints, and then tell us how these 3D printing is used in fashion.
Okay, so I guess I think of 3D printing as additive manufacturing more than as 3D printing, even though it's called 3D printing, with the idea that you're making something by putting stuff together rather than cutting away, and that unlike in traditional fashion where you take a piece of cloth and you cut out and you throw away all the excess, in 3D printing you have zero waste. You're not adding, you're not subtracting any fabric or any material. You're printing exactly what you need, and that from a sustainable fashion position, that's really exciting to me. And that you can make all these things that you couldn't have made, that you would have had to make. In terms of clothing, it's still very, very new, and it's not really ready to mass produce as yet of clothing. It's prototypes. It will be, but the future is still where clothing is, but in trims and accessories and branding, and I think there's so many opportunities for designers and manufacturers right now.
Scott is excellent. Can tell us
the materials guy.
Yeah, in 3D printing, how many kinds of material is used?
For the type of machines we have, which is called FDM printing, the machines can use either it's called PLA, which is a corn-based plastic, which is hard, which is what these are kind of made of. And then
so these are PLA.
Yeah, those are PLA. And
this is for the solid.
Yes, those are for the solid.
For the solid quality.
And then there are flexible fabrics flexible filament that is, like elastic or rubber.
Yes.
And those come in two different kinds. There are corn-based filament that are actually compostable. That are kind of new on the market now, and then there's another one which is an oil-based filament, which is a little stronger but not as eco-friendly.
I see.
So it's basically, as of now, those are the two major ones that can be used on these machines, but as things are changing pretty rapidly, where you'll have a different feel, even though it's a corn-based plastic and it feels like plastic, eventually it'll have a different texture to it. It'll have it'll still be a plastic melting, but it won't have that same feel.
But I think, Syvia, this is the filament that you use for the soft materials.
Yes.
Soft material.
Some of these are soft and some of these are hard. But when we were looking at the swatches before, and so like the pink, this is the pink, how it'll be in a button, or so we printed these swatches for people to see.
Okay.
But then the material starts out like this on these rolls, and then this is the green flexible, this is a clear compostable. So all of the material starts out on these rolls, and then it goes into the printer.
And this machine is printing an artwork right now?
Yeah, this is it's printing a test piece that we're working on with a client for a dress. But these are FDM printers, and it's printing the PLA.
Okay, that's soft material.
Soft material that basically goes into the extruder and melts it and lays it down where the file tells it to. And it just goes layer by layer by layer by layer and prints up, and that's
beautiful.
And these we use to do prototyping for things that are kind of taller or shorter. And then the larger machine we use to do bigger pieces for dresses or for, here we have a 24 by 24 bed. So to do a dress, you would probably, with these, you'd need many, many pieces. With this, you can do it in probably 4 pieces, put it together and have a, so it's much larger, and this doesn't go up as high. Because since we're printing for clothing, it's just, you know, very, couple of millimeters. It's very thin.
I'm very excited that we will have Syvia and Scott teaching a class at JSong Studio on October 2nd, 9 and 10. And tell us what the student will be learning at the class.
We're super excited to be there and to be teaching. We'll really be introducing everyone to 3D printing and to how they can actually make something, you know, from the design process to
actual printing it. What we'll do is we'll show them basic CAD skills to be able to design either a button or some sort of accessory, and then from there sort of be able to get an understanding and an overview of what 3D printing is, and then to actually print out their design and have whatever item they create.
So they'll know both, at the end they'll know both the really big part of 3D printing of how you know, what it is and what the future holds for couture 3D printed dresses, and then what it actually is, and hands-on to make a button or an accessory or a piece of jewelry or branding or trim of their own design and see that process.
That sounds wonderful, because that taking a journey of 3D print, and then Syvia will be introducing all these applications, how to use these 3D to come to one of their design ideas. And Scott is going to be there hands-on teaching. Oh my God!
We'll show them how to make things, how they're printed.
Exciting,
Cool.
Yeah, we're excited.
We're excited. It'll be fun.
Wonderful. We want to see some of Syvia's 3D printed pieces. Yeah. Okay.
So this was one of the. This one's super light and sort of soft. And it was the first one that we did where it really was shaped at all, which is still part of the challenge. And I think in the, we think that in the future people will just be able to body scan and have things printed.
How amazing!
This one,
the blocking of it. And also has
the shape,
the hidden dots.
This one is a little more stiff, but it's totally compostable. It's also a little small, so we left it lacing up the back so that models, adjustable for models. And then let's shift to this one, which is a different kind of thing, but it's printing on tool, so it's just
it's so beautiful, lacy.
It didn't. This one still got some sticks in some way, but it's a work in progress. But it is the weight and how rich it feels.
It's amazing fabric it's created.
And then these are other. This one also is fully compostable, so that this piece, if you can wear it, and then when you're done and you get bored with it, you can just recycle it in your backyard.
It's beautiful.
It's an interesting. It's a complicated concept of that, but it is really interesting.
Very interesting.
And again, these are all prototypes, so none of these will be printed as production as yet. It takes hours and hours and hours to print each one.
But once it's get to a point that it's going to,
but it's
really fast.
It's going to happen. Yes.